Hold on to your gears, folks, because we've got a hot one today. We've got last year's Time Messenger Extraordinary and First Seed Crimdahl. We've got last year's Second Chance Survivor and Runner-Up Planeswater. We've got a rematch of last year's finals. Which of these players will hold on to their position in the winner's bracket? Hey, it's Coolio, if you don't know, here for the first game of your Timespinner Randomizer Tournament triple header right here on Speedgaming Live Channel 3. And I'm here with last year's bronze medalist, Wef Jebster. How you doing, Wef?
I'm doing great. Really excited about this matchup. Like you said, it is a rematch of last year's finals. So two really high quality runners here. It's kind of late in that winner's bracket. So this is kind of where you're going to see these matchups. One of them is going to have to go into the second chance bracket. And that should be an interesting time down there.
Indeed so. It's already pretty hot around here, and it's just going to get that much better the closer we get to those finals.
Yeah, we're just settling in and getting Crimdahl's timer up there and getting it fixed on our restream. And after that, then
I mean, there's always the possibility that he wanted to show his timer on his forehead. I mean...
Oh, that would be actually next level. I kind of dig that.
Very cerebral timing.
Yeah, cerebral. I get what you did there. All right, so once the gate is up, then we will see our runners heading, and it is after start time, so we're going to go ahead and get going. The gate is up, so we should see our runners kicked off very shortly.
Starting to emerge there on Crimdahl's side. Maybe.
Well, we'll see. So what are you looking for here, Coolio? What's your ideal seed here?
Honestly, an ideal seed would be just as much divergence as possible so that we can get like different paths from each player and just be all over the map and, you know.
Yeah, I'm looking for, an exciting race. I think it would be appropriate if this was like within a minute or a minute and a half of each other at the finishing times. So we'll see what happens there. I think that has the real potential to happen. Both of these runners have seen a lot, of this tournament and how this flag set pans out. So it is.
And it is a very interesting flag set this year. Like, just the especially with the Twin Pyramid Key changes this year.
Absolutely, yeah. You can move around to every warp that you've been to whenever you want, because you start with the pyramid keys. Now, you don't start with the warp shards, so you do, until you have access to a shop to buy those warp shards, have to walk. You have to walk to those warp areas. So if we see a seed where our runners aren't going to have like vertical movement or access to the present early, we have a real opportunity to see a lot of backtracking, a lot of like plotting back and forth. But maybe they get the dash right away, and none of that matters.
Right, sure, ROF. Looks like we're starting with Shattered Orb and Colossal Hammer. I don't think any of those were... Was the Colossal Hammer plus? I didn't catch it. But the Shattered Orb is normal.
The Shattered Orb is normal. I did not see what the Colossal Hammer was.
Colossal was plus? All right.
Colossal was plus. Okay, I was going to say, the fact that Planeswater is trying to kill some of these birds with it says to me that it is not minus.
Indeed. And that's a bit of a troll chest there to start with. Unfortunately, that was a Sparrow Trap.
Nothing in any of those first three chests or that first chest off to the left. So
everyone to the right.
Yeah, Planeswater just saving or exiting out, loading from his previous save, which did make up a pretty good amount of time. He was a little bit behind Crimdahl. Had a little bit of struggle casting that spell as Mom gave it to him. So
it's a little Well, even just in general, the Colossal Hammers can be a little bit of a pain to aim because you don't get the full arc. You have to, like, be at a distance. Oh, there's a tablet for Crimdahl.
Yep, that is a pretty good item. We'll see. Planeswater is probably going to grab this portal and then run back down. Crimdahl, I would say, unless he finds a way to check Bat Ledge, won't even bother with that bottom portal. We'll just take the gamble that it's not going to be important.
Oh, look at that. Planeswater turning around.
Yep, Planeswater is going to go up here, grab this portal, go down, grab the portal just below, just before Caves of Banishment, below Bat Ledge.
And then, meanwhile, Crimdahl going into the castle.
Yeah, it's kind of the way that we've seen them run. Crimdahl kind of doesn't like the backtrack, and
that's fair.
Just sort of wants to save the time by not making that move down to the Caves of Banishment if he doesn't have to.
Indeed.
We are getting a moat check from Crimdahl.
Hopefully there's some good there.
I will note we have 2 of the brooches already. So
yeah,
at least
that's
Crimdahl does.
Really front loading those max health up for Crimdahl there.
Yeah,
and high ether. Nothing much. Nothing useful.
So we will see if Planeswater also checks the moat, or if he decides to just roll right past. And looks like he is going to raise the drawbridge and check the moat.
All right, well, that's at least an equal time loss on both sides.
Yep, and you kind of see the difference in that time spent where Planeswater walked down to get that other portal, Crimdahl venturing further to the right. Planeswater doing that walk down to that portal without actually getting any items for it. And that's like kind of the gamble. Like, are you going to save time by having that portal more than you would save time by just getting more checks in?
Indeed. It's always a series of micro decisions when playing this game. There are a few different ways you can go, and sometimes it's just a matter of finding the way that's most worth it.
Yeah, they both did find that modern warp beacon, obviously. You can see that as the pink icon on their twin pyramid keys in their tracker.
Ooh, Teleria attachment Crimdahl.
Yeah, they're both going to get this Teleria attachment early, so that is going to make this seed go significantly faster than it would have otherwise.
And a captain's uniform. It's not too bad, but it looks like Crimdahl's not equipping it.
Yeah, anything that doesn't boost your DPS, I would be surprised if either of these runners equipped it.
Well, let's see what else we can find here in the castle.
Yeah, there comes a point when you get to, this high stakes, high level of play. You just don't get hit unless you want to, like you're playing like Shadow Seal strats. You just don't get hit, and so your defense doesn't matter nearly as much as your offense. And I don't know, maybe just the frames that it would take to equip that captain's uniform aren't worth it. But captain's uniform does not boost your attack at all.
True enough. Teleria Planeswater, and Crimdahl now into the castle proper.
Yeah, this is so far pretty vanilla routing. Very routing is very reminiscent.
Crimdahl.
Yeah, Umbra Orb's a good one. Very reminiscent to last year's tournament. Just zooming through this castle loop, looking for your first vertical. Bleak Ring from Crimdahl, equipping that's a really good ring, especially with Shattered Orb.
It is a minus, though, so...
Yeah, we do know that Aura Blast and Blue are going to be minus. Ooh. There's a Gas Mask already. Crimdahl. So we see a tablet and a Gas Mask early. Is that a signal or is it bait? That has been the big question of this tournament so far.
Yeah, it is... It is going to come down to just how the items line up and which bosses need be beaten for this.
Crimdahl deciding with that present access to fade below the Golden Idol boss spot. So it's kind of a trendy check in this tournament. But with Lake Desolation as your pyramid or as your present access. You have a lot to do over here. There is a friendly save scum if you decide to go up to the Golden Idol area, but it is kind of running through that area twice if you can't make it. And Planeswater's going up there, so I guess we will see if there's anything of value or if Crimdahl's going to extend what that little lead that he has.
Indeed. A lot of divergence already, and that's what I like to see.
Yeah.
And Planeswater getting to the end of what you can access without any vertical. Hopefully there's something back there.
And that's a trap in the bottom of Lake Desolation.
There
And there's that save
nothing
scrum I
there.
talked about from Planeswater. So really nothing doing. Here's the Coyote Jump. This is a classic from the first Timespinner tournament we did. That Coyote Jump, very, very important. There's a couple frames that Luneus is not standing on that ledge that you can still jump and make that jump without any extra vertical or time stop. And that was
That's interesting. I don't know that I've ever noticed that.
And Gear 1.
First Gear Crimdahl.
That is our first piece of the Timespinner.
And there are 5 pieces to find in order to go into Go mode. The wheel, the spindle, and 3 gears. Other things may be required for Go mode as well, but we'll only be able to find that out as we play on and see what this seed has lined up.
Yeah, Crimdahl getting bullied by the Shavers here a little bit. They're hard to deal with. In this part of the game in vanilla, you are expected to have just gotten time stop. So it's supposed to be fresh in your mind. Our runners don't even have time stop at all right now. Planeswater taking an equal bullying from these low-level enemies. Fortunate that they are low-level because they aren't dealing a whole lot of damage. It's just annoying. Boom, Crimdahl taking out Bird at boots. Bleak Ring doing a pretty good amount of damage there with that Shattered Orb.
Honestly,
Here's that Coyote Jump I was talking about. And there it is, third try for Planeswater.
Onto the Varnagray Metropolis for Crimdahl, and that's where Planeswater is most likely headed.
Yeah, and here's another tricky bit of movement that is, again, reminiscent of the first tournament that we had. These platforms, if you don't have any way to get out of the water, you can't miss these platforms. And if you're running an orb like Shattered Orb, that's not going to one-shot these Shavers. So you kind of have to just be careful. You can make that with a dash off of that last platform. So you saw Crimdahl take a quick dive, getting bullied by the platforms. We'll see if Planeswater has a bit more luck there.
Also something that I've just noticed Planeswater do 2 different orbs on one of his presets.
Oh yeah?
You don't see that very often.
You really don't. Crimdahl heading into
Blood
the library.
orb and a Umbra orb.
With the wheel and a download.
Crimdahl.
So this is all stuff that Planeswater will get eventually, but that's not good for Planeswater. Planeswater really does want to... Well, Planeswater had a great bird fight there. Umbra Orb with the orb swapping tech.
Kicking butt, absolutely.
Nothing but Galaxy Earrings at the library
loading
shop.
up on warp shards there.
Yeah, Galaxy Earrings aren't going to be a thing that our runners are going to buy. And we'll see what is in the Kickstarter backer room. And this is what I'm talking about on Planeswater's side. Those Shaver Copters, it's like they're programmed to be in your way.
And looks like not really anything, including a Chaos Trap. There's also a Captain's Cap, which is going to be equipped.
Captain's Cap, notably better than Captain's Uniform. By virtue... Oh, and there's a fall into the water. Planeswater has to start this entire long section over, taking out his frustration on the birds with a big old hammer.
Crimdahl back to the past now.
Yeah, probably going to go left to Lake Serene. Had picked up Infernal Flames, so that is the ability to burn these vines that are in the past to clear the way for the spot that he's kind of already gotten to beneath of Lake Desolation. So yeah,
that's going to open up a lot more checks. Crimdahl definitely in the lead, making good use of that wheel.
Yeah, and there's wheel for
Planeswater.
Yeah, with no D card, there's really not a whole lot else our runners can do. If they wanted to be kind of wild with it, they, with that wheel, have Bat Cave or Bat Ledge in Logic, and also they have Top of Caves of Banishment. Without the Water Mask, it's not a great play, but Planeswater already has that warp for Bat Ledge, so we'll see what the play is there. Crimdahl not doing the immediate turnaround Canterin. It is a bit low level here, opting to come back and get that later.
Indeed. Let's see what is in that top loop in the past.
And Celestial Sash.
Celestial Sash. Sash for Crimdahl. That is his first vertical and was very good.
That is a very good item to find here at the top of Lake Serene. He's going to go ahead and do this horseshoe-style routing. Well, not the horseshoe-style routing. He's probably going to go fight Cantorin now that he has that Celestial Sash. The risk of it being something like Ravenlord and taking an actual death.
Ifrit.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
great.
and he
just gonna shrug it off for now.
Yeah, no reason to keep going. So he's going to actually go check the further left here. And Planeswater taking the dip
caves now.
into the caves.
Oculus Ring does nothing for our plays right now.
Yeah.
Does show up in the tracker because it can. Does show up in the tracker because it can be required to open secret passages, but with this flag set, it is not.
Yep. Looks like Planeswater is following behind Crimdahl here into Lake Serene. Planeswater did have that warp, so checking those sewers was not as wild of a check for him. It would have been for Crimdahl. Economizer
Ring.
Just another great source of... It's not... Economizer Ring doesn't really count as a source of damage, but if you think about it, it kind of does. That Colossal Hammer Plus is a lot cheaper with that Economizer Ring, and it kind of takes over as their #1 source of damage for sure now.
Absolutely, Volterra is just taking all sorts of damage with the hammer right now, but still costs a fair amount of aura, and now just left to finish off with the Shattered Orbs. Still pretty quick work there. Planeswater now fighting Ifrit, taking him on this time. Crimdahl's keycard C.
Doesn't have that Economizer, so this hammer is going to not be quite as useful as it will be when Crimdahl inevitably comes back. I would say Planeswater's in a bit of a pickle here. Can reach with that hammer from all the way back there.
Ooh, that's gonna be rough though. Out of restoratives, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he has an Ether, I believe, but he does not have any more health restoratives as Crimdahl heads up into Alana's tower.
I gotta make quick work of the tower with that Celestial Sash, which I don't believe Planeswater has yet.
Planeswater does not have it. It is going to be at the top of Lake Serene as Planeswater gets that fight and is rewarded with an arm cannon.
Arm cannon.
Unfortunate.
Not gonna do a whole lot for Planeswater. Crimdahl now going through the castle in the past. And...
yeah, it looks like he's going to fight the twins here after grabbing that warp up by Alana's tower. So he can just warp shard right out of the twins fight up to the tower.
Indeed. Let's see what comes up first for our players here. There's Celestial Sash Planeswater.
Yep. And it's Cantorin at twins. Kind of an annoying fight, but again, Economizer Ring, Colossal Hammer Plus. Cantorin already in the desperation. He did miss. We have seen from Planeswater's side that our runners do have a lot of aura restoratives. And there's a Mind Refresh Ultra speaking of.
Ooh, Mysterious Warp Beacon for Crimdahl.
Yeah, did we see where it was?
Thing that went by a little too fast for me anyway.
Yeah, a lot of the times the runners will just mash start through that text and just check where it is when the next time they get to a warp.
We're being told.
It was Gyre Entrance. Okay, well, there's that. And Glass Pumpkin is a pretty good item. And our runners do have the wheel, so it is relevant.
Glass Pumpkin, I'm not 100% familiar with that one. I don't use it a whole lot. What does it do?
It cuts in half sand consumption, so it allows you functionally to... Planeswater had a bit of a better Volterilis fight there, so that was good for him.
Yeah, real fast going down.
Yeah, he is going to need those kinds of things to happen in order to kind of make up this time, because Planeswater has done a few things that didn't pay off. Crimdahl also might go do those things that don't pay off later. But that would also obviously imply that he didn't quite make it into go mode by the time he thinks to check those. So Planeswater's going to follow right behind Crimdahl because that is kind of the play right now. There's not a whole lot else to do. Both of our runners have the same amount of movement, same amount of Timespinner pieces.
Yeah, it is going to come down to a lot of things. I feel like I'm saying that all the time.
Yeah, I think, well, the big deal here is it is going to come down to, you know, who's going to do the weird check first. So many of these races have come down to that.
Absolutely. Just finding your key card D or your last time spinner piece and just the absolute most out of the way plays.
All right, we have Boots at Ilana. This is just, you know, use the hammer. Like, just use the hammer. That's the solution to all your problems. Every boss is a nail in this seed.
This stream brought to you by MC Hammer, by the way.
Yes. Speaking
Soul Scanner
of
Crimdahl.
Speaking of damage, though, I did see that Shadow Seal over on Planeswater. I missed that Crimdahl picked that up earlier.
Yeah, Shadow Seal Plus, so pretty good deal there.
Yeah, Shadow Seal is going to be, or Nether Orb is going to be a plus orb. Crimdahl checking the rest of Ilana's tower here. Planeswater hasn't gotten that mysterious warp beacon, so I would have to assume, and there's our first pink at the top of Ilana's tower over there, so that's nice to see.
Yes, Plasma Orb, also a pretty good weapon, although it is minus, so it's probably not going to see any use.
Yeah, no, it's going to see equipment long enough to check these pink room checks, and that's about
Basically. And here that comes right now.
Yeah, so Planeswater will probably grab these pink items on the way
Chaos
down.
Rose and nothing.
Chaos Blades.
Chaos Blades.
Just chaos.
Very chaotic.
Yeah, very chaotic. It's amazing to me.
Crimdahl going to Shatter Time now.
Yeah. It's amazing to me here. Like, this shows how much Aura Restoratives our runners have seen, given the fact that Planeswater burned a few Aura Restoratives on Ifrit and still has some to spare in this fight. So, kind of wild.
Yeah, we got Colossal Blade Plus as well, so...
Yep.
I missed that on Crimdahl's side, but Colossal Blade, I think, not doing as much damage, but doing a lot more consistent damage from any distance within range.
Yeah, Crimdahl, looking for Water Mask here, you gotta think. Doesn't have access to the bottom of Lake Serene, which includes Maw Caves. Looking for either a Water Mask here or a Past Warp that takes you into the Maw Caves. At this rate, they don't have D or B cards, so they can't get to the lab, but Maw Caves themselves have a ton of checks.
That's right, and also just the general advantage of going to the pyramid early. Then you have the warp point at the end of the pyramid. Once you get into go mode, you're just straight up to the final boss.
Yeah, and with Celestial Sash and Teleria attachment, there's no reason to not do it. It is absolutely a thing that you are going to have to do anyway. With the exception of Regret Chest, you're not going to do Regret Chest if you're in go mode, obviously. But every other bit of movement you do through this room, barring 2 rooms, which are quick, less than a second checks, is going to be the same. So there's no real time loss outside of the time you spend going and doing Regret Chest and saving out of it if it doesn't pay off.
And Regret Chest was definitely regrettable this time, contains some jerky.
Yeah.
Crimdahl is going to check by the final boss entrance.
Yeah,
it is not flooded. That's a good sign.
Yeah, did a quick map check to make sure it wasn't flooded. Gets a Chaos Rose, so nothing here. That's like our 6th Chaos Rose, I feel like. All right, and Planeswater saying, I don't care about your light walls. I'm going to hit you with this hammer. All right, where's Planeswater going to go?
Planeswater is going to go to Shattered Time as well.
Yeah, not the play that, again, not the play that he needs to make here. Crimdahl just one step ahead here. Crimdahl getting a Sellen's Bangle at the engineer, freeze the engineer check. Wow, like we are kind of looking at Bat Ledge here as the play.
It could very well be. Is Crimdahl going to be making that play? It looks like he's heading in that direction.
I don't know if there's any other play to make. I guess there's the top of Lake Desolation.
Yeah, there it is. Shiny Rock and
And
Plasma
it's
Guy. There is
behind
nothing
Burned
there.
Vines. It's behind Burned Vines. Wild.
Looks like I called it by accident before the race.
Yeah. We were having a discussion on, well, we said it was go mode, to be fair.
Well, I just said that the match was going to be fire, and then everyone assumed that there was going to be something important behind behind the vines, and it ain't go mode, but it's going to take our players to the next level here.
Well, there's a light wall. Imagine if our runners had found that first. That would be a disaster.
That could have really set the scales in a different place now. Water Mask on Crimdahl's side.
Yeah, that's the Water Mask. It was going to either be the D card or the Water Mask, or I guess a past warp beacon again that lets you get down to the Maw Caves. Right,
you are. Well, let's see. Planeswater taking an exit and reload here.
Yep. It was an antidote at the pedestal up at the top of Lake Desolation, so not helpful. Crimdahl going to the right side of Lake Serene, going to check these water checks on the way to the Maw Caves.
And behind door number 1, we have Fire Orb.
Fire Orb.
It's a little bit quicker to get out than any spell, but I don't think anyone's going to really bother with that at this point because we've done our vines. And Evolution Crown.
All right. Nothing really. Our runners got that wheel and that gear right away, and just since then...
Just nothing.
Really
Still
nothing
looking for
all.
a third piece. Looks like Crimdahl taking on Ifrit now.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, missed that little cheese spot, though.
Yeah,
but,
I think... I think that's probably okay. You have to stand up in order to swing that big hammer, and when you stand up, you enter that hitbox. So
yeah,
it's
still a lot faster than any orbs that he might have had, probably.
Yeah, for sure. Except for maybe if he still has not equipped that Shadow Seal, has been opting for Economizer for obvious reasons.
I mean, that's not a bad decision, honestly, considering the very heavy use of the very heavy hammer. I think that Economizer is going to stay in play here.
Yep, absolutely.
Ice or Crimdahl.
Okay, and Planeswater is going to go snag this Water Mask, and we'll see if we get a Waterfall check.
No one's been there yet, so there have definitely been some important things at Waterfall this season so far.
Alchemy tools at the Ice Orb spot.
Something nice to see in vanilla, but won't help anyone here.
Yep. Star of Lachiam. I mean, between Shadow Seal and Bleak Ring, I don't think our runners are ever going to equip that one.
No. Good for a slower weapon like the Radiant Orb, but I think our runners are mostly gonna stick with the heavier stuff.
Yeah, you gotta think they're going to do it. And speaking of Waterfall, I believe we're getting a Waterfall check right here.
That is something Crimdahl has not done. This could give Planeswater an edge here if it's something good.
Yeah, Crimdahl would have to fade Waterfall for a while, but this is a real opportunity. We're missing a lot, so like the stuff has got to be somewhere. And those are Meteor Sparrows. Those are not going to help.
And
just a high potion. That's not going to do it. Nothing at all paying off for Planeswater here.
Oh, could have been worth it. Wasn't. Move on. That's all I can do.
Yeah, even without the D and the B card, Crimdahl thinking this is a Lasergate Seed, and I'm looking at only 2 pieces of the Timespinner. You have to assume you're right at this point, especially knowing what we know, that all of this stuff that Planeswater has checked is not going to pay off.
Indeed. But Crimdahl doesn't know that yet, so he might decide to make the same routing choices, and then we get equal time loss on both sides. Jackpot room coming up. Let's see.
Yeah. Where is everything? Like, what's going
That
on
hype
here?
cave wasn't very hype at all.
And just an aura up in the mini jackpot room. Like, where is the stuff?
I mean, I'm gonna take a guess that most of the stuff is gonna be past the barracks.
I don't know what's going on here. Like,
but to be this far backloaded though.
there's an eternal coat. That's the best armor they're gonna get. Like our runners, if like nothing is in the maw caves, I'm like thinking, what else there is to do? There's the underwater checks and caves of banishment.
Yeah, there's not much left
Yeah.
here.
All right, so we're gonna get a maw fight from Crimdahl and then the elevator shaft, and he's gonna end up in caves of banishment in stride here, pretty much. So that'll be points to him as well. Again, unfortunately for Planeswater, Planeswater will have to double dip that location.
And now fighting present Nuvius as the Maw. Shouldn't be too hard of a fight. Down he goes. Bye, Dad.
No problem at all. Again, big hammer, economizer ring. And here is the elevator
All right,
shaft.
up the shaft. Let's go.
Crimdahl getting that elevator shaft clip.
I have not seen that before. Taking a jump to try to reduce the vertical distance. Buckle hat, though, ain't going to help anyone.
Yep, Crimdahl's going to be getting these checks and then also the checks underwater, which at this point...
It looks like at some point Planeswater has changed to the sword.
Yeah, it's kind of more of a room clearer. Also, the vines, the dangling vines are weak to it and strong against Colossal Hammer. So, and there's gear 2. It's not progression, though. like good for Crimdahl, but it's not progression. It doesn't really help them do anything.
That is true. He's still looking for several key cards. The elevator key card. Trying to remember what else here would be particularly useful, but that's the main of it, really.
Yeah. That's a warp shard.
Warp shard,
wow.
Crimdahl.
Gonna use that warp shard.
No, not both of our players. Crimdahl has beaten the 3 bosses he needs to in order to get to the barracks.
Yeah, but again, still missing the D card and the B card in order to get over there. Well, I guess not the B card, just the D card and the elevator key card. Could be the elevator key card as well. Crimdahl's gonna be here checking the waterfall.
Oh, Eternal Code Planeswater.
Yep. It's where's the goods?
Trying to squeeze every single check that we can out of here.
Yeah. We're going to see a lot of, oh no, I'm behind behavior, I think, from both of these runners.
Now, as it turns out, Planeswater is technically behind, but by only the most literal sense. All
right, we're going to get these 2 chests.
No progression.
We're going to get these 2 chests that you get by beating them all. And it's a D key card!
We did get key card D, all right.
All right, so we're going to see if...
Yeah, really squeezing every little bit out of here. There's the elevator key card.
There's the elevator key card. That's kind of what we were waiting for, either the B or the elevator key card.
So there's barracks access.
Yeah, that is barracks access. That's full Varney Tower. There's no opportunity to skip anything except for Medbay and Spider Hell, obviously. We'll see if Planeswater decides to swim for the checks he didn't get earlier. Is he going to cut his losses and just go straight to the library?
Well, let's hear from chat. Which zone do you think that the last 2 pieces are?
Oh, actually, Planeswater is dipping back into these underwater checks. We know they have nothing, so Crimdahl maintains the lead here.
Got a guess of lab tablet. Let's see if that pays off.
Still no plus melee orbs for our runners, which does kind of mean Eye is their best bet. So Crimdahl going ahead and equipping that Eye orb.
Nothing in the Timespinner room.
Just what an absolute trickle of key items here.
Going over to the eastern tower now for Crimdahl.
And there's that gear for Planeswater. Good call on his part to go get those. It's something that I would have understood if he had faded that, considering he was not getting the value of the surface chest.
Going for a Varney fight here. We got the twins of Varney.
Yep.
One hit down. Oh, that's the... Never mind. 2 hits down, though.
Yep, we will have had the twins at Varney. All right, and so Planeswater's going to be getting his D card here. And depending on... I mean, it's just so linear that I just don't see a way that Planeswater catches up without some awkward routing.
Key card B for Crimdahl.
That key card B is important.
Let's gotta get into lab.
Yeah. I think Planeswater's going to go snag Skeleton and...
Jin Inferno Crimdahl. Very good spell to have for a lot of damage on a very tight budget.
Yeah.
Empire Crown Planeswater.
So that's something that... and there's our Netherworld Plus. Everything's kind of starting to come together. They're finally finding that DPS that they want that isn't just the big hammer and the big sword.
Yes, Crimdahl switching immediately. Cannot fault him for that.
Yeah, I mean, this seed's so linear now at this point. I just don't see... It's going to have to be like a weird... Like, both of our runners have already finished Pyramid. There's literally one thing for both of our runners to do now, because Planeswater has to do the tower in order to get the right side, which means he has to get that B key card.
Yeah, very linear. Like, it's what I wasn't hoping for, but hey.
Yep, we got a succubus hairpin for good measure. Crimdahl, gonna go ahead and check Siren Cave.
This is going to be decided by split-second decisions if there's going to be any change in lead at this point.
Yeah, this is going to be kind of like the only thing. If Planeswater doesn't do Siren Caves, he can maybe catch up here. If Crimdahl, I guess I should say, if Planeswater literally never does Siren Caves and they're not required.
So Crimdahl and Sealed Caves now. Sand up on both sides.
Mm-hmm. And Planeswater running across the top of Varney's tower. We'll see if he does the Varney fight here as well.
And that can be a bit of a time save if he doesn't, because there's nothing there.
Nope, he's doing it.
But he's going.
I mean, again, these aren't bad plays. Like, they're not...
Yeah. They're not bad plays. We know that it's nothing. They don't know that it's nothing. So they're just trying their best to find those last couple of pieces. Which, where are they hiding? Oh, keycard B for Crimdahl.
All right.
What if there's something in the library?
Yeah, you got to think that's again so linear that Crimdahl's going to go check that V key card because obviously he needs to buy warp shards anyway. So no reason to not while you're here.
And the library has Kobo and Midnight Cloak. Kobo opens up another check right here in the library. Is he going to take it?
I would say he's going to. Yeah, there's no reason
he's going
not. Our runners are very powerful right now.
Oh, yes. Very little stopping them, but is those decisions, who's going to make the best decision first?
Yep, this is 3 checks. You know, at 3 checks when you're powerful. And here's Sandman. Sandman will die pretty quickly. As long as the Jin Inferno train keeps running. That is kind of the key.
Key card B for Planeswater.
Okay. You'll see Crimdahl not losing aura when he casts these Jin Inferno spells. There's something called Jin Inferno glitch, which as long as you cast the spell again while Jin Inferno is on the screen, it doesn't consume the second spell's aura.
It is, of course, competition legal because it's harder not to do, honestly.
Yep. Crimdahl going into the Gyre, Planeswater heading... Oh, not going to the Siren Caves, ending up skipping those, just wanting to get that quick lore check because he doesn't want to miss that. And we'll see if Planeswater dips the Gyre.
Planeswater is skipping the Gyre, so we got some divergence here. Who's going to make the best decision?
Yeah, this is... I mean, there it is. If suddenly, if Gyre has nothing, suddenly, all at once, Planeswater has jumped into the lead. Now, this is pending him maybe checking Siren Caves later. If he ever does that, then that's going to be time lost that we know does not pay off. But there's Gear 3. Crimdahl really needs the Spindle to be here in the Gyre.
Oh,
my goodness. And just like that.
Just did? Wow, this is a huge turnaround, and really at this point,
it's basically game Planeswater. Crimdahl's not even out of the Gyre yet. He's gonna get them right back to back, so it is gonna be very close. Planeswater's gonna have to take a death here.
Crimdahl in the lead for this entire thing, but all of a sudden turns it around at the Temporal Gyre. At this point, it is pretty much just going to be Planeswater's game to lose.
Yep, Planeswater getting those nether portals on Ilana, tons of damage. And then we have Varney. Now, you got to watch out here. It's a lot of damage. You have to, it looks like 14 casts of Jin Inferno are going to do it, if my eyes don't deceive me. Yeah, about 14 casts of Jin Inferno are going to be... Yep, and there it is, exclamation points for Planeswater.
Wow, that was a breakneck turnaround. What was that?
This absolutely unhinged. Like, that's exactly what this entire tournament has been. Crimdahl heading into the final fights here. He's like, well, I'm gonna finish it. Like, why wouldn't I finish it?
May as well at this point, right? Wow-wee.
All right, so Crimdahl hitting Ilana with a hammer a whole bunch. So there's one. And
it's like
then
5 bonks on Planeswater's side.
Yep. Planeswater. Hello.
Oh my goodness. The back-to-back.
Wow.
Timespinner pieces. Oh, Crimdahl did not skip Gyre. I'm just watching.
Yeah, that's what decided it. You got the last 2 pieces while Crimdahl was doing Gyre. He was in the lead for most of this race, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just kind of...
I had kind of a rough start, so I assumed I was behind, and I was like, oh, Gyre would be the play if I felt behind, but no, I'm not going to do Gyre right now. And I'm glad I did the right call. Oh my god!
You made the absolute right call. You also made the right call not dipping into Siren Caves, which is something that Crimdahl ended up doing that wasted a bit of time.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, it was just kind of 2 checks that Crimdahl did that you didn't. It was a very linear seed. I kind of want to talk more about that.
Oh, yeah, I know that felt extremely linear. Yeah, like when I found that D card, I'm like, well, like, where else could it have been? There was Skelly that I was on my way to checking and, decided not to skip. But that was basically my last location for the D card.
Yeah, it was last location for the both of you for that D card.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just an absolute wild seed. And Crimdahl, welcome into the comms booth. What a race.
GG, yeah.
That is less than a minute.
That Gyre, yeah, I'm glad I did not do Gyre.
Yeah, that was just amazing. Like, Crimdahl, you were in the lead for almost the entire thing, and Gyre is the thing that really threw you off.
Yeah. Like, I've learned to not skip Gyre because it tends to have value, but then, like, yeah, Sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes you just need to go.
Yeah. I mean, we were 2 pieces off, so I was like, oh, like, there's got to be something over here, right? Like, if I keep on going right to the hangar, like, Gyre wouldn't have both of them. I'm going to do this first. And hangar had both of them. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, absolutely wild race. Again,
Yeah, what were the
amazing
checks
race.
that made caused the divergence earlier? You said there were 2 checks.
well, yeah, essentially, you went up and did Alana's Tower early before doing the Twins area. So you didn't have that Pyramid warp yet.
Yeah.
Crimdahl went from Alana's Tower to Pyramid. You ended up, I think, going from Twins to Pyramid. So it really was kind of a wash. But yeah, we had early divergence, and you were doing some stuff, the onesie-twosie water mask checks that ended up not really paying off.
Right.
And so that was kind of how Crimdahl gained the lead early. And then it ended up being Siren Caves and Temporal Gyre that kind of put you back in front. And, like, it was 59 seconds officially.
Yeah, basically, yeah, less than a minute. So,
Yeah.
at the my timer, I out of habit like pressed the as soon as the race started, I pressed the start split button, which just stopped my timer. So my timer was like desynced. I don't know if that got like quote unquote fixed. So our streams might have been off by about like 10 seconds or so because just for the record, my timer shows 38 minutes, but the race room shows that I finished at like 39ish.
Yep.
So yeah, that was me messing with my timer by accident because I pressed, and I can fix it without clicking out of the game. But
no
hopefully-
worries about that. I mean, it's still a distinctive win for you.
Oh my
Let's look at this wonderful 5 concussions on both sides here.
Yeah, 5 bonks on each side.
Oh wow.
You're tied there.
Yeah.
All right.
When I was
Not
going
many
through
concussions for us.
Yeah, when I was going through
Just
Pyramid,
all.
I'm like, I'm so ready for this to just lead to Kobo and everything is linear. But it was linear in a different way.
Well, Crimdahl found Kobo.
Oh no,
Yep.
that was in Gyre.
Kobo was behind V card.
Oh yeah, it was V card.
Yes.
And V card was in sealed caves, I
Yeah,
think.
so that was a bit of a rabbit hole I went
Oh
down.
right, I see.
So yeah, wild race, very good race, pretty much
GG
what we were hoping for and what we expected.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would have liked a little more divergence, but you can't have everything. This was still a fantastic race to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
The
right,
seed wanted
well-
us to go somewhere, and so we went there.
Yeah,
Planeswater.
basically.
Yep. It was very linear, and in the end, it was just kind of once you got past that D card wall, that's when, I guess once you got out of Varney's Tower after getting past that D card wall, that's where things really started to pick up in terms of different choices you could make. So very exciting to watch.
Glad we put on a
Planeswater.
show. Yep.
With this victory, you will be racing against the winner of Urza MTG and Lunar Ray Games.
Wow.
And that is the winner's semifinals. Getting close to the end of the bracket, guys.
Yeah, and Crimdahl, you will be facing the winner of Jim the Eternal and Waffle Soup.
Oh, that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, we're kind of getting to the point where it's just a gauntlet, right? We have so much Timespinner left to play, but it is kind of winding down. As
Indeed.
Llama in chat has pointed out, we actually have more this very evening.
Indeed, and that's right here on Speedgaming 3. We got a triple header for you guys. We got Urza MTG and Lunar Ray Games, so that's going to decide who Planeswater is going to be playing against. And also, you, Wef Jebster, will be playing against Lord Fizzlebeef, and that's all tonight. Right here on this channel, Speedgaming 3.
Right here on this channel at 9 o'clock Eastern, you will get a double header. The schedule says that Wef Jebster, myself, versus Lord Fizzlebeef. It starts at 10:30, but the truth is it will start immediately following the post-race shenanigans for Urza MTG versus Lunar Ray Games. So keep
Ooh, a double
your
header.
eyes peeled.
Indeed,
There's a
stay
lot
tuned
of
to...
extremely. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, stay tuned to Speed Gaming 3. We've got your Timespinner action for tonight and all sorts of other races while you're waiting all over the Speed Gaming network.
All right, so Planeswater, what are you looking for in Urza MTG versus Lunar Ray games?
I'm not sure. Like everyone left in the in the tournament is an extremely talented player. I mean, obviously, for every match, we're just looking forward to a close, exciting race. So I'm sure it'll be a good one, regardless of outcome.
Yeah, and Crimdahl, you actually have the winner of Jim the Eternal and Waffle Soup. So, what are you looking for in that race in terms of what you think is going to happen there?
Well, the same thing I look for in every race, that it's going to be an entertaining watch. I know that Waffle Soup is kind of a big name in the community, and I think Jim is relatively newer, but has proven to be a very capable runner. So regardless of which one makes it, it's going to be a good time.
There is no doubt about that.
All right.
Yeah.
With that,
I guess I will admit that that there would be something exciting in facing Bodhi, because I have not been able to go up against him. But if Ursa wins, that will also be a great match. So I'll be very happy either way.
Yeah, Urza, the highest remaining seed in the winners bracket so far. So that is kind of what we're looking at. 2 versus 11 to see who you go up against. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a great race. I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait.
Tonight is stacked.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good night.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right.
With that, let's
Any
go to
final
final
words?
comments. Yeah.
What a hell of a seed, GG Crimdahl.
GG's Planeswater.
GG and exclamation marks to our players. They performed absolutely great tonight, and they're both still in this tournament, so there's still going to be a lot of action from both of these players as we continue the Timespinner tournament.
Yep. Thanks to Speed Gaming Live for offering up your space for our little tournament here. And again, stay tuned to Speed Gaming 3. We've got 2 more matches tonight. They're going to be a doubleheader starting at 9 Eastern. So right here on Speed Gaming 3. Keep your eyes peeled. It's going to be good. But until then, I'll see you all next time.
Yep. Thank you both for commentating, and good luck in your race, Clef.
And make sure to follow our players, follow our commentators. Lots of great people here tonight.
Darn, the command doesn't work. That's all right. Yep. Thanks everybody for watching.
Later.